Imagine this. You're 6 years old and someone offers you candy. Your eyes light up, but just as you reach for it, they pull it away. Maybe they laugh. Maybe they say, "You don't deserve it." Fast forward 20 years. The candy isn't candy anymore. It's alcohol, nicotine, a toxic relationship, or endless scrolling on your phone. Anything that helps your brain unclench, even for a moment. That's the quiet link between childhood trauma and addiction. It's not about bad choices or weak willpower. It's about a brain that learned early on that comfort isn't safe and peace never lasts. When a child grows up in chaos, shouting, neglect, fear, unpredictability, their brain doesn't just feel stress. It rewires around it. The stress hormone cortisol becomes their first teacher, teaching them that the world is unsafe, that calm moments are suspicious. Their nervous system learns to stay on guard 24/7. It's like living in a haunted house, jumpy, alert, ready for something bad to happen. Now, when that child becomes an adult, their brain is still searching for an off switch. Substances like alcohol, weed, or even sugar can suddenly feel like magic. For a few moments, the noise quiets. The tension eases. The body sighs in relief and says, "Finally, peace." But that same relief becomes the trap. What brings comfort also becomes the thing you can't live without. Neuroscientists call this dysregulated reward circuitry. Translation: your brain stops trusting joy. It treats pleasure like a scam. So instead of feeling good naturally, you start chasing it through dopamine hits, through highs and escapes. Trauma trains the brain to associate calm with danger and chaos with normal. Over time, this constant stress reshapes how your brain handles dopamine, that little molecule behind motivation, joy, and reward. A healthy brain releases dopamine steadily, like a gentle stream. But a traumatized brain becomes stingy. It's like a cautious banker, afraid to give out too much happiness at once. So it withholds dopamine until it bursts in floods, which is why addictive behaviors feel so intense. They don't give you new joy. They just borrow it from your future. That's why after the high comes the crash, emotionally, physically, mentally. And not all trauma comes from chaos. Some comes from silence. Maybe no one hit you, but no one really saw you either. You learned early that love had to be earned, through perfection, through being useful, through not making a fuss. That kind of emotional neglect leaves its own scars. As an adult, you might chase connection the same way you once chased approval. You might get addicted not just to substances, but to people, validation, or even overworking yourself to feel enough. Addiction, then, isn't about wanting to escape reality. It's about trying to feel something real when your own emotions were never safe to feel. It's DIY emotional regulation, your brain trying to do what no one ever taught it to do, self-soothe. And here's where shame sneaks in. People with addiction often carry an invisible belief, something's wrong with me. That belief was planted long before the substance ever showed up. Shame becomes a loop. You use to silence the pain, but the guilt of using makes the shame louder. The cycle keeps spinning until you start to believe that voice. But the truth is, that shame was never yours to carry. Trauma also hides in memory. You might think you're over it, and then one sound, smell, or argument pulls you back into the past like a landmine exploding under your feet. That's when addiction can feel like a shield, a quick way to numb the flashbacks or panic. But instead of healing the wound, it just turns down the volume for a while. So what breaks the cycle? Not punishment, not shame, safety, real consistent safety. When people finally start healing, through therapy, connection, or even small acts of self-kindness, their brain starts learning a new language. It starts to realize that calm doesn't mean danger, that joy doesn't have to come with pain. Recovery isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before your nervous system learned to survive instead of live. It's your brain's rebellion against everything it was taught, that you can't trust, can't rest, can't feel. Healing says, actually you can. And maybe, for the first time, the candy doesn't get pulled away. You can finally reach out, take it, and know you deserve it. If this connected with you, take a moment to breathe. Healing is slow, but it's happening every time you choose awareness over escape. Every time you choose to reach for help instead of harm. Because recovery isn't about avoiding your past, it's about teaching your brain what safety finally feels like. That's how childhood trauma leads to addiction, not through weakness, but through survival. And every act of healing is your quiet way of taking your power back. Healing doesn't erase the past, it rewrites how your story ends. Every time you choose recovery over escape, your brain learns that peace is finally safe to keep.